Hey guys, it's Andrew from Stock My Lizards. Hope you're doing great. It's been a while since I gave my thoughts on where I think the price of BTC is going. We front ran that big pump earlier in our videos and we had some good calls to take us along last year. However, for the last month I've been indecisive myself as to what's going on with the price. I wasn't sure whether that ETF was a sell the rumor or buy the rumor. I actually thought it was more of a buy the rumor, but it's not proving to be that. And I think the reason is because of the SEC hack, which dampened the mood in my opinion. But anyways, today I thought I found something in the chart which is worth discussing, which can give us a little bit of foresight into where the price should be heading. Before, I just want to mention, because this plays a part in in where I think the price is going. So the fundamentals at the moment are good. I mean, 86 days until the Bitcoin halving, great. Fed set to ease rates in 2024. This is definitely good, so some powerful macro events are happening that should push the price of Bitcoin up in the foreseeable future, like a month and a half. Alright, so I thought that today, because I haven't really spoken about specific candles, and what I'm seeing on the monthly is one of two possible candles. Either an inverted hammer, where an inverted hammer is nothing more than price. If it's green, price opening at this level, shooting all the way to the top, bulls losing control, and then the price falls over here, higher than where it opened. With a red inverted candle, it's pretty much the opposite. So price starts up here, goes to the top, bulls lose control, and closes below where it initially opened. I'm not going to talk about hammers. Hammers are just the opposite. I refer a lot to Bulkowski's encyclopedias. He has two. One is chart patterns, which is really, really good. We identified the 3 rising valleys chart pattern to basically project the price of Bitcoin between January and, let's say, September, I think it was, where there was a pattern called the 3 rising valleys pattern, and it was correct. Price did go up. So chart patterns from Bulkowski, for me at least, have proved to be very useful. And he also has the encyclopedia of candlesticks. Now in it, this is what he says about the inverted hammer. So in a bull market, the bearish continuation is 65% of the time. So basically what this means is that in a bull market, if you see a candle like this, chances are that 65% of the time price might actually continue to trend downwards. So there are some more realizations though that you have to take into consideration when you're looking at this candle. So if you're in an uptrend and an inverted hammer signals exhaustion of the bullish momentum, its predictive power is significantly influenced by the trend strength and duration before the pattern's appearance. So we'll have a look at the Bitcoin chart in just a moment, but I think these are important factors to consider. So here what he's saying is that the predictive power is influenced by the trend strength. Okay, and in the second part he says that if you are trading, traders should wait for the next candle, because the next candle could tell you more or less what's going to happen with the trend moving on. And finally, you have a two-thirds chance that in a bull market price might reverse. Okay, so we know this about the inverted Doji candle, and there's also the Gravestone Doji candle. Now I'll show you in just a moment, but this candle looks like this, but it just doesn't have the wick. Sorry, the inverted hammer doesn't have the wick, and in the Gravestone it sort of has the wick. I mean, these are up for interpretation, they're very subjective. Okay, but the cool thing about the Gravestone Doji is that when a market is in a bull market, the reversal is 51% of the time, not 2/3 of the time. So in my mind, it's like, okay, if we have a Gravestone Doji, odds are more in our favor that price of Bitcoin should either remain the same and then trend upwards, or not, let's say, fall to ridiculous lows. Just 3 considerations here. So in a bull market with strong fundamentals, which is what Bitcoin has now with the ETF approval, the reducing of the interest rates, and obviously the halving, you know, there's a strong fundamentals for Q1. Doesn't give too much time for bears basically to come in and dictate the pace. What he's saying here is that the appearance of a Gravestone Doji could indicate temporary pause or hesitation in the bull sentiment, which it feels a lot like that at the moment. It suggests that during the period, bulls pushed the price up, which is what we saw, but couldn't sustain these levels, leading to a close near the open. And the second point here is Barkowski advises to look for subsequent bearish candlestick patterns or a gap downwards. In our case, Bitcoin trades 24/7, so there won't be that gap. We're more likely to just see a price fall, you know. Without confirmation, the pattern alone might not be a reliable signal, especially in a strong bull market. Why? Because there's a 50% chance that this is just a moment where momentum slows, people are a bit indecisive, but then we push to the upside. And once again, we're halfway. We're 50% sure that it goes down, 50% sure will go up. So on their own, the Doji candles as is aren't a great source of information. So yeah, this is the candle, the current monthly candle that Bitcoin is forming, which actually at the start of this video there was a wick over here and now there's no wick. So this is really starting to look at least like the inverted hammer over here. And basically I just want to analyze exactly instances where we've had this hammer before. Alright, so I know I had another chart somewhere here. Yeah, here. So if we look at the current chart, other times where we've had this kind of candle have been, at least what I counted, 6 instances. The first, let's call it the first instance was in 2019, which was the bottom, and price went up. We had an instance here. We had an instance here, you know, where price kept on going down. This is meant to be here, this one. So we had this candle, which basically we had a run up, Doji candle, which looks like a inverted hammer candle, and then price went up. We had one, I mean, I marked this, but it's debatable, this one. Price kept on going down, and then we had another one here, and price kept on going up. Okay, so basically I'm just showing some similarities that I saw in the market. Now if we look at this particular one over here, and the reason why I'm just looking, and I want to look at this one, so 1, 2, and the reason is because I'm gonna ignore this one in 2019. And I'm gonna ignore these two over here, and which in two of these situations price went up, and in one situation one price went down. But in these two situations, which I'm going to be looking at, we are above the 20 period moving average. Okay, so 20 period monthly moving average, which is significant, as we got above it in October of 2023. I mean, we did get above it earlier than that, but we lost in August, and then we got above it, and we seem comfortably above it now, you know, which could mean that this pump over here is similar to this pump over here. So if we have this kind of candle here and this kind of candle here, then one plan of action might be to assume that price is going to come back down to the moving average, which is what I had thought initially in the last video, that price is going to come down to whatever, 31, 32, whatever it will be at the time. But it seems like quite a steep fall for Bitcoin to make at the moment. So this is why I'm going to look, because of the fundamentals, this is why I'm only going to look in this video at this particular one, okay, which was in June of 2020, which was basically, it was, I worked it out, 150 days before November. So it was about, I mean, it was pretty close to the 2020 halving, okay, when this candle came about. And not only that, this candle sort of had an RSI of 56, 55, and the current RSI that we're on is on 59. So this somewhat, I think there's some similarity going on over here. Now, if we just, yeah, 1 second. This one. So this happened in June, sorry, in June of 2020. Now, in June of 2020, okay, so if you look at the left, which is what we just looked at, and jump to the right side now, and you go to June of 2020, let's just see what, if we zoom in on the weekly, what those candles consist of. Starting from this, so you have a long wick, and a decent sized body over here. You have a candle with downward pressure, and then you have a doji candle like in the middle. June continues going down, and you come to an indecisive moment on the 29th of June, and then price started to go up. Now, if we look at this current candle on the weekly, I thought there was some similarity between the current movement. So what you're looking at here is June stretches from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you have this candle which looks a lot like this candle, which is the start. Okay, so look, big decent sized body, upper wick, lower wick, decent sized body, upper wick, lower wick, the candle which takes it down, the candle which takes it down, indecisiveness, red candle similar to this one, but red candle anyways pushing it down, and then finally an indecisive doji candle, one that's pushing it down. So maybe the next candle to get is that doji indecisive candle, which is this one, and then maybe we can start, you know, trending back up again. So I don't think this position should worry a hodler or someone who's been holding this for a long time. Chances are that sort of we're just cooling off at the moment. I mean, if you look at this chart since January of 2023, there have only been arguably 1, 2, 3 down months in 13, 14 months. So it actually makes sense that we're going to have a month where price should slow down. And that came in the month of the ETFs. Okay, so that's what I think about the current candles. So I think personally, whilst there's a low potential to the moving average, there's also a chance that this thing keeps on going up as it continues to hold. Yeah, so finally I also want to just show, I basically took the forecast of what it would be like if Bitcoin, so I went to the RSI and I tried to take a forecast from when we got above the moving average to the high, and I did the same for 2015 onwards, and I basically plotted them out over here. Bitcoin's currently moving faster than 2011-12. Maybe I didn't do it accurately, or maybe I'm making some big assumptions here, but it's what I have in front of me, which, if nothing else, is a good, fun prediction, because this takes it up quite high. Yeah, so I'm under. So I've been bearish on ETHBTC for a long while. Actually, since around December, which ironically is like an inverted hammer, which is the candle that we've been speaking about. And now ETH had a decent bump versus Bitcoin to 0.06, which is decent. I saw some charts. I can't understand how they plotted it, but they said that there's support coming in from like 7 years back. But if I plot this line, it shows that there isn't, because it's currently, that line of support is actually resistance now. It was support for a long time. So I think I'm ready to say that I'm bullish ETHBTC, simply when the ETH valuation goes above this current resistance line for me. So those are my thoughts on ETHBTC. Finally, I had a look at Amazon, Apple, and Nvidia, because I wanted to see how these charts trend. And what I found was, in the case of Nvidia, when they had 1, 2, 3 all-time highs, over different spans, but they had 3 all-time highs, price sort of really went parabolic. If you look here, price is like $70, and now it's $513. If you look at Apple, you had this breakout was in, this is from 1981 to 2023, but you had one high, second, third, arguably this was the second, but whatever, you get the picture. Eventually it devalues. So in this case, price went down 76%, price went down 83%, 82%, similar to what Bitcoin has done. And then it just takes off, so there's no reason to believe that Bitcoin has had its one, or arguably it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and now it might likely take off. So that's some hopium for people that are excited to see where the price of Bitcoin is going. Cool, and that has been basically my thoughts. I haven't really had much to say this last month. I was happy with the announcement of the ETF. It shows that there's some truth going on in the space, which is nice. This has been a longer video. If you have enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe. If you have any questions, please let us know in the comments. Other than that, have a great day. Thanks a lot for watching.